Yo, what's up everybody? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to write and produce a modern day wage war type track like this one. Check it out. So if you guys have been watching any of my tutorials lately, you would know that I'm pretty obsessed with like drop F and drop F sharp right now. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab my guitar, and the first thing I'm gonna do is like pick a tempo, and I've already picked 105. I really like this tempo. It's still a tempo where it could be chaotic yet have some cool substance for like a good course. So the first thing I'm gonna do is program the drums for the main riff. We'll just kind of go in between. Okay, so here's our drums that we have programmed. So that's at a good tempo. So I'm just going to jam this and try to come up with a cool riff. Notice a really hot thing in the last couple of years is a lot of these metalcore bands like Architects, Wage War, Fit for a King, I'm probably missing a bunch, but they all like to riff on like the open 12, 13, and 10. It's definitely something that Bring Me the Horizon kind of brought to the forefront right around like There Is a Hell, and maybe a little bit before that, like Suicide Season 2. So like those just riff hard and it sounds really good. So I'm gonna kind of write a riff based on those frets. And then I'm gonna use like the new metal harmonics with it. Like give it like some Seven Dust type vibes. So we're gonna track that riff. Obviously I'm gonna tune up first. And per usual, I'm gonna take it in sections. So I'm going to do 2 opens. I never like to put the drums on the riff until I'm done with it. That way I can like hear it a little bit more in context and know if it's like kicking me in the face. And I do this cool slide on this riff. That's what makes it. There it is. Cool. Yeah, I feel like that slide is what's making it sound cool. And these riffs, they're not like super complex usually. I mean, Wage War's starting to get a little bit more complex, I feel like. Now we lay the 10 down. And on some of these frets, they can be a little harsh. So I have to get like a bunch of them just to see which one has the best sustain. And sometimes I do cut off the transients, so don't judge. So now we're gonna go back and forth with that. open. Now we're going to hit that 12. And you might be asking yourself, why am I recording a bunch of these? Why don't I just do it all in one take? Well, if you watch my videos or if you subscribe to my Patreon, you'll know that I really like clean guitars. So for riffs like this, might as well take advantage of it. They're not that hard. So it's not a bunch of, it's not a bunch of recording. It's just hitting a couple notes and it's done and it's clean and it sounds great. This next part's gonna be kind of cool. And a lot of this stuff too, as you'll notice, this is not the exact same riff that I was jamming, and I'm doing that because I can hear the notes themselves right now, and it gives me the opportunity to create something even better sometimes that I didn't hear when I was jamming. There it is. There's the tail I'm looking for. So now we're gonna listen to that. That's perfect. So on the second time around is when I'm going to do the cool harmonic stuff. New Metal, Limp Bizkit, Seven Dust. Sick. So now we're going to program our bass really fast. You know me, I'm always about programming bass, and there's multiple reasons for that. I love having the tabs, and I love it being like perfect, so it sets it up to have better production. So now that the bass is all there, we are going to jam this and see what it sounds like. Okay, so we are going to now look for some production. Okay, so we're gonna just open up Splice and we just type in industrial beat, and the first thing we find is something that's literally perfect for what we're going to be doing here. I'm going to match this up. I know that this is 4 measures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tool and size that down to where it fits perfectly, right? So this is going to be my main riff, I know. So I'm going to go ahead and make an outline of what the intro into this main riff would sound like. I'm going to cut some bass right away. And there's a couple ways we could play this. Like, newer Wage War has like ride cymbals going on, like the ride bell, while it's like a heavy. Bad Omens has been doing that for a while too. So I might do that, but first things first, I'm just gonna design it because that's what I'm doing in real time. I'm just figuring out how this is gonna make sense. So I'm gonna do something different here. I'm gonna take this guitar track and I'm gonna double it, and you're not supposed to do that because it's not stereo. So if you listen, it's the same damn thing, right? So I'm gonna print that. So you're gonna see why this is gonna sound unique, because I want this part to be explosive, right? So I'm just gonna try like a cool little intro right here. So it's gonna be like a okay, so you're gonna notice first thing, it drops. As soon as it comes in, it's not as heavy. It's not as big, it's not as bold as the intro. So there's a couple ways we can play this. I'll double the drums here and put those in to see if it fills it out a little bit. So let's pull out all of the bass. just so it's still there. And, I might actually even double that up with like a decapitator or something, just so it's a little gross. No, we're not done. So the intro I'm cool with. So now we're gonna take the open and we are going to print the open on the main guitar tracks and reverse it so I have a cool fade in. Actually, you know what? We're gonna lay an octave down of the open. And then I might double it with the open. We'll see. We'll see what this sounds like. I kind of want it to be higher pitched, but we're now looking at trying to build this and elevate it. Now we're going to reverse it. And we're going to fade it in. And I actually have a preset for this already saved. And then we link it to our master bus. So now we're just going to turn this up. I'm just going to turn the gain up on audio file. Now we are going to take some of those cool drum now spices, which would be like the 808s and the risers and all that cool stuff, just so it sounds a little bit more explosive when it comes in. So still not done. So now we're gonna look for a riser in the key of F sharp minor. That way we can continue to make some sort of... That even works. I have that one in my library, so I'm fine with that one. I know it works. Pull some mids out of it. Okay, so now we are going to throw in some cool like padding and stuff like that. So we're going to double it up first because I know that I'm going to have it to go twice, but I want this to be a lot more elevated. So we're just going to find any VST that I know that there's a pad on, and we're just going to look for that F sharp. That might even be a little too harsh. I'll turn that modulation down a little bit. And you see I'm pulling it down right there, so I'm just going to take that stereo bus down so the intro is a little less loud than when the riff comes in itself. So I know that that little pad right there works. So I'm just going to leave it, and I'm going to open up something else. I'm going to start making a little bit more industrial type drums in this part. So we are going to go with a trusty damage here. And you could really do anything here, but for me, I know that I want it to sound like pretty distorted and lo-fi. So I'm just going to print this one part right here because I like how this sounds. So we're gonna, on the second half, we're gonna continue to elevate. So we're gonna put a little bit more. So we're just gonna put shit that sounds cool. So just rhythms instead of straight. So maybe like a. Now, second tail I'm going to change because I'm going to go into a verse right here, but the verse is going to be the intro, but expanded on and detailed. So what we're going to do is I'm going to change this. Fade those together. And now we're going to do this with our bass. So now our bass works with that. So all right, let's check that out. Okay, we're getting a little bit more, like now that this is my workflow, so bear with me. As we continue to grow with what we're writing here, I'm realizing that I want to start making changes to the actual main riff here to make it better. So we might even do like a cool like modern like synth or something that they would do. So you know, let's look for, and splice is an easy one for this. So like synth. And then we could just type in F sharp minor again, that's the key, and let's just look for something. Little like harmonics I'm thinking about changing that. Experiment real quick. So let's do, this is the fun part. We just get to work on. So just in case this is not a good idea, I'm going to double what we have here, put it over here in case I alter anything that doesn't sound too high. I still have it over there. So I'm going to try to create something a little different here on that part, like Yeah, I'm gonna pull the bass out there, so I'm gonna use that tail. And there's a lot of cool things that we could do here, so that's even cool. Like, for instance, I'll show you if we wanted to use something like that to give it some melody, I would even consider using something cool like that. But depending on, you don't want it to change, you don't have to change the mood like too much, right? But it's always cool if you find something like a random sample and you're like, oh, that could maybe elevate. Let's just see. But if it changes the mood, all right, so we need to change the drums on the guitar tail. I'm not super sold on the synth right here. Kind of changed the tone a little too much. So here's where things can like, or we can start doing like a verse right here. So we'll drop it back to what's familiar. So for this time, I'm going to double up Alter Boy over here and do a couple different things. So we're going to do more guitar here and more sound. So we're going to drop it down into the verse. So we'll do like a... So let's kind of do it like that. But I want to try something else. So I'm going to try a little different filter to throw on here. Okay, cool. So we're going to do one more little fade just to kind of give it. Now here, it doesn't necessarily matter like how this really plays out, like this verse. We could make it more detailed for sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and just copy the drums over, but we're just gonna remove the kicks, and we are going full-fledged 5-finger death punch on this B. Okay, so the reason why we're doing that is because this is gonna be where the verse really truly gets, where the verse really gets like wage war with the, you know, cool stuff that they do with the straight beats and the boldness. So I'm putting that riser right here, but I'm going to turn it down. And those risers come in way too early. So we are going to copy our industrial drums that we have. We're going to put them right there. So now I'm going to riff verse 2. You ready? So, and we'll put like a cool little pad there. just to go ahead and start giving it the identity that I know it needs to have, I'm just going to put the chugs there so I can build. All right, so we're going to check this out. We're just going to play some stuff. So that's what the riff is. But I just want it to be better, like better tracked. So I'm putting it right there. That coarse effect just gives it the modern. Now we're going to do a different on the rhythm tracks. All right, now we program the bass for that. Cool. So there's the tail. So this is verse 1. Oh, I see. So now we're going to bring down the volume on the production in verse 1 as well. And you know what? We might actually do this too. So just to give it a character, I might keep those drums, but just do something like fuzz them up a little bit. Those hi-hats. So try to bring these little risers in a little bit earlier, like that. There we go. Now, I'm not really liking how these sound, so I think we're going to take off the coarse. And I'm just going to try maybe like cool like distortion with CLA effects and see if we can make this. Let me see what this one sounds like on the track. Yeah, we'll put that one on the track. So we'll keep that fucking heavy. Alright, so programming this is about to be a pain in the ass. So it's going to be an open. So then we might even add like a cool lead on that second half right there. Yep, perfect. That's exactly what we want. We just want to get a little bit more angle. And we're getting close to this hook, man. We are getting close. So we're just gonna look for something like H reverb. Yeah, we're just going super spirit box with this. We just want fuzz city. And then we're just going to bring this down. We're still gonna use this, but it's gonna be like a as we're getting ready for this course. All right, now we're gonna get coursified. Yeah, we're just gonna see what this sounds like here. Alright, so we want to go a little bit more bad omens type of this stuff. So I'm just gonna jam some shit. Let's see if this sounds right. I'm building this tail out right now. I have an idea. That kind of sounds cool. So we're just going to copy everything over and now we're just going to do chemical substance. We're gonna track the lead. Just gonna do what comes to me. So we're gonna open arcade. Gonna type in bass. I have a couple in here. This one's pretty good. So let's see what this sounds like. Now we could bring back that synth from earlier and see if that works in this hook, just to give it like some sort of melody. That's pretty much what I would do if a client wanted me to create like a Bad Omens meets Wage War type track. Let's check it out. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate you guys very, very, very much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you want to see. Thanks, guys.